We welcome you to the NovaCare Complex in South Philadelphia. Our continuing coverage of the Philadelphia Eagles 2020 regular season, presented by DraftKings. Hello, everyone. I'm Eagles insider Dave Spadaro, along with Fran Duffy on a wintry day here that sees our first real snowflakes of the year. And there he is, the Eagles' new starting quarterback for Sunday, rookie Jalen Hurts. His first practice as the starter, getting the reps, getting all the instruction from the coaches. There's Press Taylor there. And Fran Duffy, what are we thinking about here with Jalen Hurts going against a New Orleans Saints defense on Sunday that leads the NFL in fewest yards allowed, among the best against the pass? They take the football away, they rush the quarterback, and the rookie gets his first start.
Yeah, it's not an easy test, that's for sure. He's going to have a lot on his plate here this week because not only do they have talent at all three levels, but their scheme is really difficult. They do a lot of stuff up front from a pressure standpoint. They do a lot from a coverage standpoint. They're a very aggressive group from front to back. So Jalen Hurts, he's going to have to be ready mentally, but it's not just him. The offensive line has got to be ready. The backs, they're going to be put into a lot of stressful situations with all of the pressure packages from the Saints. So it's a really good group on that defensive side of the ball.
Doug Peterson making the call on Monday night, informing Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts of the quarterback change. So we'll see what kind of impact that has with the game plan, with what happens, from play to play, friend. Frankly, it's going to be a play-to-play situation, something the Eagles really have not seen in a long time. And I've been asked a lot about this. Is it comparable to 2008 when the Eagles benched Donovan McNabb for a half against the Baltimore Ravens? Well, he came right back into the lineup the next week, and the Eagles beat the Cardinals and, of course, eventually made it to the NFC Championship game. This is a much different situation. Carson Wentz there. A contract through 2024. He is the present and ostensibly the future franchise quarterback here, and it may do him some good to back off. We'll see. But right now, it's all about number two and Jalen Hurts and the skill set that he brings to this offense, Fran. The ability to move, throw the ball, get out of the pocket, throw the ball with great accuracy, great strength, and maybe get some of these players like Travis Fulgham involved. He has not been involved. 4 catches, 32 yards in the last 4 games.
Yeah, I think, just going back and watching the film from Sunday against Green Bay, I thought we saw some good, we saw some bad from Jalen Hurts, which, by the way, that's to be expected when a rookie is seeing his first extended action. So I'll expect more of that this week. He is not going to have a perfect game against the Saints. There are going to be ups and downs. How he responds to that adversity against the best defense in the NFL is going to be interesting to watch. His ability to create is going to help him out. I'm also interested just to watch what the game plan looks like in terms of trying to lean into that athleticism and lean into his ability to both create as a passer and as a runner as well. Something that certainly I'll have my eyes on Sunday afternoon.
5 of 12, 109 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 5 rushes, 29 yards for Hurts at Lambeau Field. The moment not too big for him, Fran, and we expect that from a quarterback who played at Alabama, won a national championship, went to Oklahoma, went to the national championship tournament, to the final game, and is a very talented, established, respected leader who's been in the big moment, and Sunday will be a big moment.
Yeah, I mean, I remember after the Eagles drafted him in April, during the week after, on the Journey to the Draft podcast, we had Nick Saban, we had Lincoln Riley, both come on. I interviewed both coaches, and they just raved about Jalen Hurts and everything he brings from an intangible standpoint. And so he's got those qualities that a lot of people are drawn to. I'm interested to see how he responds here on Sunday, because it's going to be different. There's one thing to come in, essentially for a half in the second half of a game and not preparing the entire week to be the guy. Now he's got this week to see what he can do as the lead guy in that room for the time being.
And as the Saints have film on him, and they will prepare for that mobility and perhaps some designed runs. Who knows what Doug Peterson and the coaching staff have in mind. The Eagles have lost 4 consecutive games since the bye week. Looking up now at New York and Washington in the NFC East. So tough sledding ahead for the Eagles. We know that, but it's really all about this week and Jalen Hurts, and see how the Eagles respond to Hurts. Certainly a lot of energy in Green Bay on Sunday. Eagles down 20 to 3. Hurts comes into the game. He engineers a touchdown drive, and Jalen Reagor with a big 73-yard punt return. Eagles closed into within 23-16 before a late Aaron Jones touchdown run iced it for the Packers. So the young kid gets a start here, and we'll see how long it lasts. Obviously, this is a game-by-game proposition starting Sunday here at Lincoln Financial Field.
I'm excited to just see what he can bring. I think a lot of fans are excited just to see what will the offense look like. Obviously, it has not been working over the last month and change for sure. And I think that they're going to try and see what kind of spark he can give.
And that is the word from head coach Doug Peterson, whom I spoke with on Tuesday. If you haven't watched that interview, please do so. Doug talking about his decision to go with Hurts, certainly praising Carson Wentz for the way he reacted and the way he's handled a most difficult season. Just mind-boggling to be in this position right now after the way Carson took the Eagles down the stretch in 2019. 4 consecutive wins, captured the NFC East, reached the playoffs, the first 16-game season for Carson Wentz since his rookie year. And then, of course, the injury, the concussion against Seattle, 9 snaps into the playoff game, and it's been a rough 2020 for that guy right there, number 11. So sometimes you back off, and good things happen, and we'll see how Carson responds to this. He's been nothing but professional from the moment he walked into the NovaCare complex in 2016. And certainly part of the game plan is to get this wide receiver core unlocked just a bit more. Travis Fulgham, who had that torrid 4-game stretch in the middle of the season in which he led the NFL in yards receiving, has been unproductive, to say the least, the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think trying to find different ways to get him involved should be the priority, of not just the quarterback, but the coaches as well. Trying to find ways to get Travis Fulgham in space, try and get ways to get Jalen Reagor in space. Great to see him catch that 34-yard pass down the left sideline, but whether it's the screen game, shallow crossing routes, things that Jalen Hurts is comfortable throwing, right? You go back to his days at Alabama, at Oklahoma. What are the different concepts that he feels most comfortable with? That's what the coaches do with the quarterback every single time he's preparing for a start. They're going to put things in that he's comfortable with, and we'll see, what he's able to do with this cast of weapons.
And for the Eagles, look, it's a tough challenge on Sunday. The Saints have won 9 consecutive games after a 1-2 start, a 10-2 record, loaded offensively and defensively. We expect, I think, Fran, at this point, Taysom Hill to make his 4th start.
I would think so.
At the quarterback position, although Drew Brees is eligible to come off of injured reserve. No word out of New Orleans as to their plans, but with Taysom Hill, you're looking at a mobile quarterback. Interestingly enough, somebody who, when the Eagles selected Hurts back in the spring, a lot of people said, hey, maybe the Eagles are going to build packages like the Saints do with Taysom Hill. So potentially both of these quarterbacks will start against each other on Sunday. And the fact is, Taysom Hill's done a very nice job running that offense. It certainly is not as explosive as we've seen in the past, but when you've got weapons like Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas and the receivers, Jared Cook at tight end, and they are just absolutely a dominant football team, playing for that number 1 seed in the NFC and the single bye. that each conference number one seed will enjoy heading into the playoffs.
They're one of those offenses where they are so multiple with what they do, and everything's working for them right now. Screen game's good. Vertical passing game is unlocked with Taysom Hill. The outside run game, inside run game, quarterback run game, shallow crossing routes. They're going to work the intermediate area of the field with Michael Thomas. Third down, red zone. I mean, it's a really good offense, a really good scheme.
So the Eagles going through their drills here at the NovaCare Complex. I'm Eagles insider Dave Spadaro, along with Fran Duffy. Our continuing coverage of the Eagles 2020 regular season presented by DraftKings. We thank you for taking the time to join us on this Wednesday. A little bit of a wintry mix here. Breezy, cold, and some snowflakes. The weather forecast for Sunday, and Jalen Hurts, could be some rain in the forecast, but warm temperatures. And so maybe we'll see some points on the scoreboard. So let's talk about what Jalen Hurts has shown, Fran, not only in the NFL, but just from a skill set. We know about the athletic ability. We know about the ability to throw on the run. How about the release? How about the accuracy? How about the recognition of defenses? How about the football IQ?
Sure. Obviously, he's a guy that is known as a hard worker. He's got all those intangibles. So in terms of understanding what defenses are trying to do and how they're trying to attack him, he's going to be able to have all that mentally. The big thing with him early on in his NFL career is going to be just trying to get through reads in the pocket. You saw that a little bit this past week. When his first read was there, he was really decisive. That 34-yard catch by Jalen Reagor down the left sideline, good example. The touchdown throw to Greg Ward, another good example. He saw Ward was going to be open, knew the coverage, knew that the route was going to beat the coverage, stepped up away from the rush and delivered on the money. That's what you're looking for. Now it's going to be what happens when the coverage takes away your first read. Do you have that ability to get to your second or third progression? And if not, then create. And I think that's what we're going to see from Jalen Hurts too often. I think he's a little bit too quick to leave the pocket. And again, that's to be expected with young quarterbacks. But those are the hills that he's going to have to try and climb out of early on. Oklahoma and Alabama, they would lean into that a little bit. Sometimes they would say, okay, look, we're going to have one read for you in the pass game. Drop back. If that's not there, we've got a quarterback run blocked up for you along the offensive line. We'll see if the Eagles incorporate some of that or if it'll be a lot of what we have seen and see if they can just get him working from one progression to the next.
Hurts, of course, the Eagles' second draft pick in the spring, and the number one pick right there. Jalen Reagor coming on strong, big catch from Hurts, and then follow that with a 73-yard punt return for a touchdown. The moment we've been waiting for from a dynamic punt returner in his college days at TCU. Franny showed you the explosiveness, the ability to make people miss, and just that knack for getting into the end zone. A beautiful return from Reagor. So the Eagles' first two draft picks here at the end of the season. I guess we'll see them contribute quite a bit here the last quarter of the year. Now, number 3 draft pick Davion Taylor going on IR today, in case you missed it. The linebacker from Colorado. Eagles promoting Raekwon Williams from the practice squad to the active roster. An undrafted player who the Eagles have been high on since the summer and has a chance to really develop. And as we look to the rest of the year and into the future, somebody who you might kind of count on a little bit. I think he's got that kind of talent.
Yeah, he's a guy that's got to get a little bit bigger and stronger, and that was why, getting him on the practice squad, letting him physically develop, that's been the goal for him. But seeing him get into the backfield, he can be a little bit disruptive for you. He's got a well-rounded game. He just has to come along physically, and so we'll see on the back stretch of the season what he can offer as a rotational player on the back end of the D-line.
Fran, what was interesting to watch on Sunday was the way the entire team, just the energy level seemed to kind of pick up when Hurts went into the game. And we've seen that in the past. You rally around your quarterback. There's a change. There's fresh blood, young energy. Not that Carson Wentz is old, but it's interesting to see if that carries through for an entire week into a new game. You want to do well for the kid. Give him a chance. You want to give him a chance to have success. Because, look, he's going to see things he's never seen. He's going to see a defense that is going to come after him. That's going to try to cut down that run lane and I would imagine, Fran, dare Jalen Hurts to beat the Saints with his passing arm rather than with his legs.
I think anybody who's played sports, you don't even have to have played, college or professional ranks. If you played sports, like when there's a change, there's going to be a little bit of like excitement about some freshness and something new. And so I feel like that's why we saw a little bit of that juice on the back end of the game last week. I'm interested to see if that will continue, if that will carry through, because obviously this is the reality. This isn't going to be a surprise coming out of the locker room early in the second half against Green Bay. This is something that they know and expect going into this game against New Orleans.
And Fran, what this off we have seen an offense run the ball fairly well at times when they've had an opportunity to do so. Obviously Sunday playing from behind in much of the game. But what we haven't seen is a consistency with explosive plays in the pass game. So I'm looking at Rager, and I'm looking at Greg Ward, and I'm looking at Fulgham. And I guess Alshon Jeffrey, who's gotten a lot of reps but just hasn't found the football in his hands. So I am going to see what the Eagles plan to do here. Are they going to give some of the young receivers more time? Is Alshon Jeffrey ready to go after missing the first 10 weeks of the season? Is he back in football shape? As BG, Brandon Graham, looking for that first sack since the Dallas game 5 games ago. He's stuck on 7, Fran. We want him to get to double digits.
Gotta get him there.
Gotta have a big final 4 games here to get to his first double-digit sack total of his career. Paul Lancaster, the Eagles Director of Player Programs, with him. Helps the players on and off the field.
Go into his role for people that don't know.
So his role is to, when the players come in, to present to them all the information they need, everything that they need so that they can keep their mind on football, whether it's tickets for their family, whether it's lodging, whether it's how to pay your taxes, whether it's travel, whether it's post-career college career education, whether it's summer internships. Paul is the one who presents the programs, who coordinates with the league office, and who makes sure that the players have an opportunity to not only take care of themselves now, but beyond their football career. Miles Sanders getting ready to go, one of the most productive backs in the National Football League, as he runs off into the team drills. This has been our complete coverage here of the Eagles 2020 regular season here at the NovaCare Complex, presented by DraftKings. That'll do it for the day. I want to thank you all for joining us. I'm Dave Spadero, joined by Fran Duffy. Have yourselves a great Eagles day. And as always, everybody, fly, Eagles, fly.